Hey guys, so it looks like Macron is getting a lot of flack for his comments at the G20 summit about Africa. He said one of the problems that they have essentially is that a lot of the women there are having 7, 8 kids. Now, he had a bunch of people jump down his throat, yell at him, call him a racist, a white supremacist. They're all like, no, he was supposed to be our God. Oh my God, he was supposed to be like the James Bond guy. Blah, blah, what happened? But it's like clearly, I guess he does have somewhat of a head on his shoulders, right? And a little while ago where he refused to have like a speech and he's like, my thoughts are too complex for you people. And I was like, yeah, he's probably right. Right? If he told the reporters what he actually thought about certain things, they'd be like, what? This doesn't make any sense. This doesn't correlate with who we thought you are, etc., etc. So this gives me a little bit of hope. And anybody saying it's racist are just idiots, right? Saying that poor people shouldn't have like 7, 8 kids to help their financial situation is not racist. The same applies in Canada, in America, right? If you're growing up in America or Canada and you're like 18, you have like 3 kids already, you think you're gonna be a fucking millionaire? Do you think you're gonna make a lot of money, right? You're gonna have to take care of those kids. That's the time out of the workforce, out of bettering yourself, right? And I'm not saying we need to, you know, like we just need to understand that kids equal resources that need to be spent. So if you have 2 adults or 1 adult supporting 7 kids, that's a lot of resources you need to provide for that family. So this should be fucking common sense, right? And throwing money at the issue is not going to help. It doesn't help here. It doesn't help with our poor people. Why would it help in Africa, right? People are people pretty much wherever you go. So why would it be different there? Like this should be common sense. Like we've sent more than $1 trillion to Africa in like a couple decades, like 3, 4 decades. So, right, like that clearly has not worked. It has screwed them over more, right? Our attempted like effort to help people, which a lot of times is what socialism ends up doing, is like we think we're helping people and it ends up just hurting them in the end, right? You think a lot of this money that we send to these countries is going to go directly to the African people? No, it's going to get funneled through their corrupt governments. And if you think our government's corrupt, theirs are fucking way worse, right? Theirs are way worse. So what do you think is going to happen, right? They're not going to spend that money on their fucking people. And if they do, they spend a very little just to show, and then they're going to pocket the rest or spend the rest on something fucking stupid, just like our politicians do. So Macron is 100% right with what he's saying. And I'm glad he has a fucking head on his shoulder. He's not like these idiots all over the world, these leaders all over the world. They're like, oh, let's just throw money at the issue. It's just like the Paris Agreement. The Paris Agreement will reduce less than 1% of the carbon dioxide required by 2100. And you know how much money that is going to cost, right? You know how many trillions that's going to cost? It's not going to do a thing. It's not going to do a fucking thing. All it's going to do is send a bunch more money to Africa, to third world countries. So it's just a large redistribution of wealth. And we're assuming it's going to do anything. And it won't. They even said it. Even says it. It's going to do less than 1%. So we know it's not going to have any effect. So why are we spending trillions of dollars to spend in other countries that will have no help, no benefit? It's crazy. It's fucking crazy shit. And I don't understand why people just are not waking up to the fact that doing the same thing over and over and over again will not produce different results. You're crazy, right? That's like the definition of insanity. So let's stop being insane. And I'm glad Macron appears to at least be somewhat sane. And let's hope he keeps this fucking streak up. And maybe he can actually fucking help push some of these other hard left countries in Europe slightly more to the center, right? And yeah, fucking great on Macron for saying this. Great on him for not being fucking regressive. And fuck all those people calling him racist. So if you like my content, subscribe and have a great day.